Hello, everybody, and welcome. Eka Alara, Eka Jero. Back to this class session. Now, we would love you to go ahead and press the like button, share it with your friend or family. Take your pen and paper, and let us learn as much as we can today on this particular program. We will be talking today about um, this particular topic called understanding the energy of equity issue. Understanding the energy of equity. I do apologize if by any means my broadcasting is quite slow for you there. I'm trying my best to make sure that everyone enjoy whatever we're doing all over the world, irrespective of your color, your continent, wherever you are from. So we're going to be talking about the person of Eshu today. Eshu láàlú ògiri oko, onílé oríta, ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún ẹlẹ́kún sunkún láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. What have you heard about Eshu? What do you know about Eshu? Before we continue, please do let us give kudos and credit to those who we refer to as ancestors. Ìbà lára o, ìbà jẹ́ o, ìbà ọ̀rọ̀gún ilé ìlá, ìbà àwọn tí wọ́n jáwé ká tó jáwé, ìbà àwọn tí wọ́n wẹgbò ká tó wẹgbò, ìbà àwọn ìyá mi ọ̀pàkẹ́ àlàkẹ́ ọ̀sàlàǹṣólò òṣòlòǹṣálá, arúgbó aṣọ má balẹ̀ àti inú jápá àtẹ̀dọ̀jòrò òró àṣẹ̀bá yín lónìí kí bá ti wá ọṣẹ o torí pé àdáṣe ní mú mọ́ ìgbà ò gbọ́dọ̀ mú mọ́ ewúrẹ́ tó wọlé tí ò kágò èyí ló dẹrùn àmúso àti gbogbo ẹni tí ó ṣe é kí lónìí àṣẹ̀bá gbogbo àwọn tí ó ṣe é ṣèbà lónìí. We also put veneration to those who have gone ahead of us, who have spoken before we can speak, who have done this kind of work before we started doing it. May we not make mistakes that will cost our lives. We also decree to all our viewers, from wherever you are, irrespective of your race, that the Mother Earth bless you beyond your own imagination. May the universe increase you in wisdom available for you to live a life without error. Àṣẹ o, kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. So, let's commence today's program and take it critically, step by step. But before we do that, let us also recognize those who are online with us. Thank you for joining from Paris. All right. This person is saying, press the like button, which is important. Àbọ̀ ìbọn ṣíṣe fún gbogbo ẹni tí bá ń kí babaláwo. Thank you very much for joining us today. We also wish you peace and love. Wherever you are watching us from, please click the like button, share with your friends and family, and most importantly, get the message that we are going to be teaching ourselves today. Grand rising to you. All right, so that's all we have about greeting and exchanging pleasantry with one another. Today, we will go ahead and begin to teach about the person of Eshu. The most controversial, the most misunderstood energy or deity in African spirituality. I will start by clearing the misconception that Eshu is not Satan. Quick question is not allowed for now. Retain your question for later. When we finish, you will put up your question. Thank you. Eshu is not Satan. Because when we were growing up, even though people were Christians around us, they do not use the word Eshu in replacement of Satan. They use Satani. Because there is no word for Satan in African language. No word for it in African language. There is nothing that looks like it. There's nothing that is almost like it. No word for Satan. So I'm a Yoruba person. Here we use their word for them. So we say satanic. And even though they were Christians or Muslims, in this part of the world, when they want to pray, they don't pray to God, which is the sky god. They pray to Olodumare. You will hear them say, Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè. And they will start saying so many things that has to do with Ifa. You must have heard the word Atobajaye Majaya Lolo. Atobajaye Majaya Lolo. You will think it's your sky god. No. We are referring to Ifa. Atobajaye Majaya Lolo. That is Ifa. Several other misconceptions that has happened, that has become a thing of high discrimination, oppression, and misconception about African spirituality because of how our people started misinterpreting this way of life to be an equivalent to that way of life. We had an ancestor. His name is Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. He was of a Yoruba descent and one of the slaves that ever returned back from slavery. Most of our people came back after slavery was abolished through Freetown in Sierra Leone. Is it Liberia? Sorry. Most of them were able to trace back their origin. And then most of them did not trace back their origin willingly. They were set to us as a dynamite, having corrupted their mental space, having messed up their disposition towards life. They now send them back into Africa to be the gatekeepers of the religion of the invaders. One of them was Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther, of whatever memory. He was commissioned solely to interpret English Bible into Yoruba Bible. This concerns Yoruba people. But the program today concerns all Africans. There is no English word for Eshu. There is no African word for Satan. One of the greatest misconceptions and mistake rather that we make in Africa is to want to find a English equivalent for every of our indigenous word and indigenous word equivalent for every English word. So when he was commissioned to translate Yoruba Bible, English Bible to Yoruba Bible, he was looking for a person, a deity, an ancestor, whose way of life is almost not stable. It will be this, it will be that. And he decided to pick the person of Eshu as the equivalent of the European Satan. What was the lack of understanding of Bishop Ajayi Crowther then? You must have watched so many movies illustrated to you in Africa, especially the ones that are being illustrated by the so-called Christian movies. Should a person want to make a move, do a thing, they will show you that the person is seated. And there is one guy wearing white by his right. There's another guy wearing the same face, the same guy wearing white is also copy and pasted to his left wearing black. So one will be telling him, do it. The other will be saying, don't do it. It is one person, but saying two things. Not at the same time, but at different time. However, when they want to script it, the activity of Eshu or the so-called Satan, they script it to be saying one thing at the same time. And because they do not know how to really interpret it, they will say this one at the right, wearing white, is the Holy Spirit of their God. But this one at the left, wearing black, is the Satan, who is also tantamount, according to their interpretation, as Eshu, because they believe Eshu is always the one who is causing your misfortune and your misbehavior. Now, if they get nothing right, they got it right that Eshu is a still small voice capable of convicting you, directing you, and telling you what to do. If they got anything right at all. That part they got it right, that Eshu is a still small voice which cannot be heard loudly, but can be heard inward of you, telling you, do this, don't do that. And so it became a thing amongst our people. Whenever they do what is not supposed to be done, they will say it is the handwork of Eshu. Ishe Eshuni, Ishe Eshuni. Whenever they do something good, they will say it is the leading of the Holy Spirit. However, the energy of Eshu is the energy of balance. This is one of the deity that carries the greatest duality of life. It can be positive, it can be negative, depending on what you are about to do per time. The presence of Eshu in you is to convict you of what is evil and direct you to where is right. The presence of Eshu, the voice of Eshu inside of you, is to convict you when you are doing what is evil. See, that thing they call conscience that is pricking you, that is telling you don't do it, is the voice of Eshu. When you are about to do something good, that thing that tells you how to do it, what you call initiative, intuition, the leading of the Holy Spirit, is the issue. Also telling you, do this, don't do that. So, whenever someone is having confusion in life, you know what we do? We have to venerate the energy of Eshu so that they can have a straight thinking head, always doing the right thing at the right time because they are thinking and hearing the right voice within them. However, Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther misunderstood the personality and the individuality of Eshu to want to say, okay, Eshu is Satan, the other one is Holy Spirit. If there's any Holy Spirit existing at all, then Eshu is Holy Spirit. Being that it convicts you of what is evil and directs you to what is right. So that still small voice you hear within you as an African child, whenever you do what is wrong and you are convicted, is the voice of Eshu. That still small voice you hear within you, whenever you want to go out and you say, don't wear this cloth out, don't go that route, is the voice of Eshu. Eshu is not your enemy. Eshu is not that Satan. Eshu doesn't take you to the place of your destruction. It helps you to make the right decision per time, giving you the updated information from the universe at every single time. Are you with me? Now, in those days, the person of Eshulalu, we call him Eshulalu. Eshulalu. What does Lalu mean? Eshu has different type of name and title because of his duty amongst us. We call him Eshulalu because he is a police officer who polices the whole town, the whole city, the whole village. Olaluja, Eshulaluja, which means the interconnectivity and the networking of the old town is under the grasp of Eshu. There is no way you can find Eshu. So either you hide in the corner to do what is evil, Eshu will be there in your heart convicting you, serving as a police, arresting your conscience. Or you are the mountaintop doing what is good, Eshu is there directing you and applauding you, serving as your comforter and encourager. So you cannot hide from the voice of Eshu because you were born with it. It is within you, it is inside of you. They will not tell you that aspect of Eshu. But they will tell you Eshu is Satan. Eshu is not Satan. We call him Eshu Lalu because he is the police officer, monitoring everyone, watching everything, convicting everyone of whatever they do. We also call Eshu Lanroye. Eshu Lanroye. Now you must understand the progression of languages and also how the tonation can change over the time. For the benefit of abbreviation of word or shortening a word, Alaroye became Laroye. Alaroye became Laroye. What is Alaroye? A lawyer, an advocate, an activist, a freedom fighter. That's why we call Eshu the energy of equity. So when they say Eshu the advocate, Eshu the comforter, Eshu the convictor, Eshu the freedom fighter. Remember I said when we call him Eshu Lalu, we are referring to his policing work where he convicts everybody. If you are doing evil, you are convicted. If you are doing good, you are applauded. Within you, you know within yourself. The voice that speaks to you, that feeling of guilt within you. It is not a should that propel you to do what is evil. It should convict you having done what is evil. Somebody is saying they can't hear me. Can you people hear me? Because I don't understand what is going on. Now, we call him Eshu Lanroye. What is Lanroye? What is Lanroye? I said it before. Alaroye. Alaroye is someone who speaks on behalf of others. Alaroye is the one who acts as a lawyer, an advocate on behalf of others. Now hear it. We say Eshu, the lawyer, Eshu, the advocate. So when somebody hurts your feeling and you know you are in your right, it is Eshu you go to report. When you make your report, Eshu judges the content of your heart, judges the content of your heart, and exact judgment. That is why, furthermore, to explain to you what Laroye means, we say, Ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún, ẹlẹ́kún sunkún Laroye ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. The lack of understanding of simple words or statements can bring about different form of ideology and especially blackmail. Ẹ ṣe ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún, ẹlẹ́kún sunkún Laroye ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. When you hear that, you are scared because that's what your pastor wants you to feel. That's what your imam wants you to feel. But what is the meaning of this word I just said? Ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún, the one who cries on behalf of the one who is crying. Can you see? What do you do to, what happens to lawyers, your barristers? You take your matter to them. They take it up with you. Sometimes even when you are faulty, human lawyer, they make sure they speak for you in a way that you become the one who is right. You see, when Eshu decided to fight for you, you will be scared of the one who is going to fight for you. Is going to fight because of assuming Mr. A and Mr. B have issues. This one has a land belonging to him rightly, and this one came to grab the land. So this one, knowing that is right, Mr. B knows that is right, decided to report the matter to the energy of equity, which is Eshu. And it is ascertained that this is the person in the right. When they should begin to use Mr. A for whatever experiment you want to use him for, this Mr. B will be scared. not to do evil. And also, he will have mercy upon this person because jala jala la ń wọṣọ ara orí igi. Are you getting the point? So our ancestors say, Ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún. He will fight your battle to the point you will be scared that come, you don't do. It's okay, it's okay. You will be the one begging for mercy for the person who hurt you. They now finish it by saying, Ẹlẹ́kún sunkún láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. Ẹlẹ́kún sunkún láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀, which means while you are crying tears, this issue is crying blood. How can you be cheated? How can they take you for granted? How can they hurt you that much? How can somebody pick on you? How can they repay your evil for your good for evil? How can anybody ever think of taking you for granted? That is the passion with which they should fight your battle. So we say, Ẹlẹ́kún sunkún, normal tears you are crying. Láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀ because of the passion he has for you to be on your right. Èṣù láàróyè. Èṣù the advocate. Ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sunkún kẹ́rù ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún, the one who fight for the one who is cheated. And the one who is cheated will be scared that come, he don't do, it's okay. Ẹlẹ́kún sunkún láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. While the one who is cheated is crying tears, Èṣù on his behalf is crying blood. So Èṣù is the energy of equity. And your white slave masters, they know. Every single time you go to a law court, it's so marvelous for you to know today that water is masculine, fire is feminine. You don't know that? Water is masculine. Fire is feminine. Èṣù is a female. You have never heard it before in your life. Èṣù is a female. Some of the greatest energy that we discover in Africa are feminine energy. But in the masculine world, they make everything look like it's man responsible. Èṣù is female. Ọmọ gbé èṣù bélékè. Èṣù lóbìnrin o. They use those things to qualify women, and the women felt like this is an abuse. No, they are telling you the characteristics. A woman can have 5 children for you, and you are not the father of any of them. And you discover that they are not your children after like 70 years of marriage. There's nothing you can do about it. She's not the one cooking your food. She can kill you, nobody will ask her. You die from your sleep, that's all. You'll be making love to a woman and she wants to kill you within her. You think everything is okay. So Èṣù is a feminine being. Èṣù is not a man. For you to know that the Nollywood, Bollywood, whatever it is, they got it all wrong. Whatever wood you have been addicted to, they don't know what they are saying. They have no clue about this way of life. No clue at all. So when you go to every law court, even your slave master know not to disrespect the energy of equity, which is Èṣù. So you see that woman in front of every law court, holding sword by one side, holding scale by the other side. And her eyes is blinded. Blinded to bribery, blinded to unfaithfulness, blinded to any form of injustice. Whatever you sow, you reap. That's it. Equity. There is no, we will bribe you behind. So the sword is there and your scale is there. See, what you don't know is bigger than you. You are a slave to your own ignorance. Issue is not something you say, I rebuke you. You don't go ahead and say, Yami Yeshu. Èṣù má ṣe mí, má ṣe nìkankan, ọmọ ẹlòmíì ni ó ṣe. Those are wrong. Bí èṣù ò bá ṣe, báwo ló ṣe wá ṣe ilé ayé? If there is no Èṣù inside of you, how will you live your life? If there is no presence of Eshu and the energy of Eshu in the atmosphere, you would live a life of being cheated, a life of constant suppression, oppression, agony. If there's anything you want to hold on so tightly, aside your Ori, it should be Eshu. So mostly when we do appeasement of Ori for people, we also venerate the energy of Eshu because people are suffering from what they shouldn't. So many people in prison because of lies. When we go to venerate the energy of Eshu and they go back to court, a verdict comes out in their favor if they are truly innocent. Now let's now begin to go to how we can easily now manipulate this energy. Because this energy is the still small voice within you, and we use mostly palm oil to venerate the energy of Eshu. And we use a rock, molded rock, as a symbolism, talking about neutrality of life. A rock does not know you. A rock does not know me. When you hit your leg against the rock, either you are white or black, the same pain is what you get. Yet inside the rock, you can bring out water. So there are some things we can conjure together with the words of nature, which is incantation. That's not for your own consumption publicly. We call the Ori of that person. We call their mother's name. And we begin to manipulate the voice they hear within them. This is bad. Bad practice. Bad practice. I've forgotten the English word for adi. Èṣù ìjàdí, epo lèṣù jẹ. So when we want to use the energy of equity for good, because we understand that it is the still small voice within you. If there is a home, having checked their elements, they are compatible, everything is okay, but they constantly have issue, always arguing, always beating each other, domestic violence. What is the cause? They say irreconcilable differences. There are irreconcilable that can be reconciled. So we know somebody is actually using the energy of Eshu against this home, where they have constant disagreement. Why? Because the voice they are listening to is a negative voice. So we use palm oil and some other things to bring about balance in our home. Balance in our home. When a child is constantly angry, we believe that there's a voice they are hearing within them that is making them misbehave. People behave according to the voice within them. We quickly look for the nearest rock there. We speak the word of equity to it. We pour the veneration and the child will come down. So also, for those who are saying they are going through remote control, there is power in African spirituality. Positive power, negative power. When a war is looming and a certain town is being bombarded with war and all that, it is Eshu we go to venerate, so that if we are not at fault, we will win the battle, or everything will just douse down. So also when they want to hurt your feelings and your life, you have heard people say they were just passing a bridge and they started hearing a voice to jump. Instead of using palm oil, we now use adi. And we begin to say, so, the son of so, is the one who said, we should give you Eshu, this thing that you don't like to eat. Do your worst. And the internal peace of that person goes away immediately. So their hearing is tuned to negative voices, negative voices. Some of them will say the soothing thing they could hear at that time is just kill yourself, die, kill yourself. Assassino, the same energy, duality of issue. You can see the reason why Bishop Samuel Ajari Crowther, in his limitation of knowledge, could easily just pick issue as the Alagabangebe or the one who represents Satan of the European. So the energy of Eshu can also be used against people, knowing that it is a still small voice within them. Several other things that these things can be manipulated to be. However, the focal point of today is if you are cheated and you know you are cheated, don't need to call people, you don't need to shout. We just need to go to issue and invoke the energy of equity and allow the rest play its part in African spirituality. But whoever is coming to equity must come to that equity with what? With what? So in all your life, would you ever say you have not hurt somebody? Would you totally say this case you are absolutely innocent? The reason why people run away from African spirituality is because even they themselves are filled with evil. Even they are filled with vehement evil all the time. So when you now come to issue with a stained hand, a hand that is not pure, whatever is not yours, you are now using your head to carry it. Things begin to mess up with you. So it is easy now for you to now follow the wagon of Bishop Ajayi Crowther and say Eshu is Satan. And Eshu that Eshu is what? Is after you. No, you are the one who came to equity with a very stained hand. Unfortunately, most of us have a very stained hand. Ìsàlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wá lẹ́gbin gan. Tó lẹ́gbin gidi. This energy is the most sacred, the most needful, the most useful, the most misunderstood, the most controversial, yet the most needed in your life. But if you must come to it, you must come as a holy person, as a righteous person. Are you holy enough to behold the work of Yeshua? So the wagon of those who know that they are guilty of the same offense they are accusing other people for, they will say Yeshua is also Satan because it refused to back you in your immorality and evil ways. Yeshua is a feminine energy. And you realize that even if you are doing stupid things, when a woman is in love with you, your stupidity is a wisdom to her. When you are doing stupid, now this is going to answer this person. When you are doing stupid things, but a woman is crazily in love with you, she will help you brand your stupidity to be the greatest wisdom she has ever encountered. But the day she falls out of love from you, even your wisdom becomes foolishness to her. Duality of nature. The intensity of her love for you becomes the tenacity of her hatred to you. Loving you crazily with all your flaws, hating you vehemently with all your perfection. What determines it is she in support of you? Is she in support of you? At the time you are with Eshu, are you perfectly observing the protocols and laws of doing unto others what you want to be done for? Because the way Eshu will accept you, fight for you, if you are doing what is right, it's the same way Eshu will fight you when you do what is wrong. And so when there is a problem, and you have been reported to àwọn ìyá mi àjẹ́, the energies of the mothers, who are the witches. Why do you think between Babalawo and the witches, it is still the same issue that serves as an equator between us? When you come and we see that it is the witches and all these mothers of the night that are behind the problem, we don't call any other thing. When we want to represent your case, it is issue we also call. Issue stand as an equator. However, we must be very sure that you are on your right. A woman came to me. She was shouting, angry, that her husband is unfaithful. And another woman is with her husband, which is a side chick, whatever they call them. I made the investigation. I realized that she's saying the truth. And so when I discover that the side chick has already taken the name of this woman and her children, men, please be careful. Please be careful. Having fun, making love everywhere is more than your own. Don't be selfish. A lot of you has opened up the security of your home to a destroyer. You have promised a woman what you can't give to her. And in order to get back to you, she uses your children and your wife as a whip for you. Those children and your wife, they knew nothing. Be careful, please. Calm down. Die your penis. Let it not be the ending of your wife that is faithful to you and the death of your children at home. These side chicks, they'll do anything. Now, the complaint the side chick gave to the mothers of the night was that this woman snatched her husband. And those ones, they know the year. Whoever comes first, they are like the Nigerian police force. The first complainant is the right person. So they started dealing with this woman. And the woman came to me and said, it is still the people you were reported to that will go to. And we went. We presented a case. And the signal, the omen, everything came back and said, yeah, she's right. She's the original wife of this. And we needed to set her free and all. And we called the issue to be an equator. We did all we could, but the woman's situation and health started getting deteriorated. What is going on? We have to make another round divination to realize that the woman herself, the two children she said she had for the man, you know, the two children she said she had for the man, even though she's the original wife of that man, the two children does not belong to the man. You are coming to issue with a stained hand. So when we venerate the energy of issue to support you, it goes against you. You wá dàbí ẹni pé babaláwo ò mọṣẹ́ ṣe. It will now look as if you, who is the administrator of all this energy, you don't know what you are doing. It took a while before she could confess. And the funny thing about the energy of equity is the moment it catch up on you, it will destroy you until you confess. After equity restitution is the next thing. I was on my home when she came to me. Now we are going to get your husband back for you. But even you, Owo Eponyo, you are messy. Your husband will come home, but you will not get well until you confess to your husband again that you yourself have been cheating him. That's how the cookie crumbles. She wasn't willing to confess. She said she would rather die than make that confession. So I answered. There are such a things called spiritual arithmetic. Where you start from is where you end up. Make sure that you always create a bed that is worthy of sleeping on. Stop looking at African spirituality as a safe haven for evil. It is better you go to church. Go to church. You guys, you deceive yourself and lie to yourself. Wreak so much havoc in the world. Go to mosque. Islam is the religion of peace. Christianity is the religion of love. Look at what they have turned the world to today. Every form of evil is within you. Then you now lift up the holy hands. If there is such a concept of God at all, church every day. If there is any God in the sky that you guys gather together to worship at all, thunder should be striking all of you dead in that church and mosque every day because of the evil you cover with your smile and your clothes, and you say, "It is well, sir. God bless you, sir. The Lord bless you." The kind of evil you guys do. But you know there is no chance and availability of such a thing here. So you say this is a demonic place. Because we do not give chance for you to do what is evil. You call us demonic. That place, so the person of Eshu is the energy of equity. Eshu láàlú ògiri oko, onílé oríta. Let's go into that. I told you before that the symbolism of Eshu is a rock. It's either you mold the rock or you pick the rock. We have different types of rock. We have Okuta Ela. We have Okuta Eshu. Alako Okuta, Alabo Okuta. Different kind of rocks. Before the white men started teaching us geography, and our fathers knew all this. One of the oriki of Eshu is to call him Eshu Lalu, Eshu Tokari Ilu, Eshu, the police of the old town, Ogirioko. Which means a wall made with pebbles of stones. Wall made with pebbles of stones. Òkúta èṣù wà o, òkúta èṣù wà. Tó yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn òkúta pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ tẹ́ ń rí. Bá a bá ti rí òkúta èṣù á mọ̀. There is such a rock or stone that can be used to venerate the energy of Eshu. And you'll be marveled when I begin to tell you where you see Eshu is everywhere. Eshu is in all of your government houses, either at home or abroad. See, the Europeans, they venerate Eshu even more than you are. I'm not broadcasting with my laptop. I would have shown you a picture. There is this common pillar, a very common pillar you see everywhere. It's a pillar and it has a cone-shaped head like this. Always molded from, it's just a pillar, just straight pillar, but when it gets to the edge, it looks like a cone shape like this, very small cone shape. You don't make such a pillar with ordinary stones and granite and all that. There are selected stones for it. I'm in Lagos right now. When you begin to approach the secretariat in Ikeja, you will see issue everywhere molded. But if you don't know, you will not know. Let me put it that way. If you don't know, you will not know. Your politicians, they know. And they just don't mold it in any other place. They mold it mostly at T-junctions. Yeah, they call it obelix. Thank you. T-junctions. A spot where the road is coming here, way is coming here, coming here, coming here. Every head and legs lead to issue. It is very common in Germany. Those places, those Germany people, they know about our African spirituality. They know. Go to the Black Forest in Germany and you will see some things that your ancestors did there. You will not believe. Okuta Ishunuo. Even in White House, thank you. So they know what you don't know because of the energy it gives to them and how they can easily manipulate it on their own behalf. They bastardize it for you so you don't tap into what is real. We are not trying to be vindictive. I'm a true speaker, speaking the truth. Amapele Shulalu Ogiloko Onile Orita, a wall made with pebbles of stones. Onile Orita, which can translate to either you see consecutively in 3 places at the same time, or you always meet him at the T-junction, or meet her at the T-junction rather. Somebody say, but they don't put palm oil on the obliques in Washington, though. Yeah, they won't put it so that you won't know what they are doing, but they know where to put it. You live in a country, you are talking about a country that has underground tunnels. Some places you cannot move to. Just like they will give you Holy Communion publicly, bread and wine in Catholic, but they will go inside and eat the flesh and the blood, drink the blood of a real human. You follow suit these people like a sheep, mocking yourself by not finding out what is happening. Kini, what is you do, what is it? So that single aspect of it, the Saudi Arabia knew when all of you save money to go to Mecca, they will tell you to go and pick a certain type of stone so that you can stone. They call it ashitan, also kufeshi. In the literal sense or in the real sense, they are telling you to bring a stone to mold Satan. Bring a stone, mold Satan. So each and every one of you pick a stone to mold Satan. Because in 1940s, thereabout, when the concept of stoning Satan started, the Satan was not more than this tall with a cone-shaped head. But go to Mecca today, go to Saudi Arabia today. The stone is like a wall. It is the stone you fools going to all these places go to bring that they used to mold Satan for you. So every year you contribute to the growth of Satan in Saudi Arabia. Every single year. You leave every shore you are in Africa, all over the world, to go and contribute to the growth of Satan. You have been stoning the Satan. Satan is not going down. It is you going down. Some of you even die there. While Satan is growing up. Satan is looking like a skyscraper now. 3 places. Odile Orita, 3 places. There. Go to Mecca now. Go to Saudi Arabia. They know the secret of all these things. To have all this dirty energy concentrated in their town, in their country, in their state, they know wealth comes with it. So when I left Islam, and I also left Christianity, people felt I'm mad. They are wondering, what will you leave tomorrow? I can't leave myself. Because this is me. Can you see now that issue is perfectly different from the concept of Satan that was sold to you? You can rebuke Satan. I don't know. But you can't rebuke issue because it lives in you. So I look forward for a future where somebody will print a t-shirt and say, issue is the comforter. Issue convicts. Issue is the spirit of holiness. And wear it proudly. So when they stop you, you can give them this explanation. So they don't begin to blackmail you emotionally about your ancestors and what they know, things that work for them. In this part of the world, we have some family. Their name begins with Eshu. Eshu Bumi, Eshu Bami, Eshu Dare, Eshu this, Eshu that. Why? Because their family are the family of the so-called judges. They are known for justice. If a certain case is looking somehow, it is that family we call. They are the family that culminate our judiciary system. They are the family that culminate our judiciary system. But today, look at them. They have changed Yeshu to Oluwa. Who is your Oluwa? Oluwa is the one who bought you, whom you are a slave to. So when are we going to wake up? From what are we waking up from? And what are we waking up into when we lack the basic understanding of most of these things? One of the most controversial deity or energy is that of issue. And yet, it is the most beautiful. They know the importance of it because when in a don't give me compensation, give me justice. Everybody is preaching peace. Nobody is preaching justice. They know the importance of justice. They know when justice prevails, everybody give themselves brain. No need for peace. Let's go for justice. When justice is prevailing, peace is not a thing that we now have to pray for or look for. Everybody just behave themselves. And they know that issue is justice, equity. They remove justice and they say you should look for peace. How can I live at peace with you when you are occupying my land? How can I live at peace with you when you snatched my wife, when you stole from me? How can I live at peace with you when you rob me of my birthright? And you say you have consulted United Nations, and they will now be giving us paper and say treaty to sign. I want justice, not peace. I want justice, not peace. If justice prevails in our world, peace will be the second nature of all the people in the world. Don't steal from me. If you stole from me, do restitution today. If you have taken from people, go and return it. There is no God in heaven that will forgive you. No forgiveness here. No mercy. If they choose to pursue the case and report to issue, you will die for it. If you are the type that is always stealing from your employee or employers, an employee you employ today, you want to pay him $50 per hour, and you, because of his desperation, you are paying him $20. Go and make up their money for them. Else, wèrè ní ṣòbúkọ o, jálajàla báyìí ìléwé ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ń já. So you see them taking care of diseases that is not supposed to even go back and do restitution. You have taken the children of Femi and given it to the children of Bayo. Go and do restitution. Kí gbẹ̀yìn ẹ má bàa rí bí ìgbẹ̀yìn ajá. Kó má gbòkú. Whatever it is that you have done, if you want to embrace African spirituality and you want it to work for you to the maximum capacity, the first thing you have to do is to make sure that there are no skeletons in your cupboard. No skeletons in your cupboard. That you yourself, first of all, are pure before you begin to call for purity. That you are holy before you begin to call for holiness. That you are merciful before you begin to call for mercy. That you have been able to get to that spot where when we see you, you are an epitome of what you preach before you begin to now say you want to practice it or tell others to practice it. That's what African spirituality is all about. It's what it's all about. You can't practice African spirituality and be an internet fraudster. You cannot be practicing African spirituality and be comfortable being a sidekick to someone. See, African spirituality does not forbid polygamy. It is better for you to marry more than one wife. They know each other than for you to marry one wife and be cheating around. You can't practice African spirituality and you are stealing, and your job is just to market lies to people. Pyramid scheme everywhere, scamming people. Work a B, work a on, work a onike. Later, Bafitomo, a renewal. A house that we built with spittle, with our saliva. Ordinary deal, we mess it up. Ordinary deal, we mess it up. I appeal to your emotion today. I appeal to your conscience today. I appeal to your intuition and also your instinct today. I appeal to your divine being today. Be one of those people whom, through you, people will say we want to embrace African spirit because your life is worthy of emulation. Nobody is threatening you with hell. There is no concept of heaven here. You are not going to hell, you are not going to heaven. For whatever you use your hand to draw in this life, you will use your eyes to see it. And when it comes, don't say Babalawo don't know how to work or don't know their work. When it comes, if it is the repercussion of your mess, you will bear it alone. You will bear it alone. That's the presence of issue and what it's. And that's the reason why they call it issue, devil, or Satan. There is no word for Satan in Africa. There is no word for issue in English. Issue is issue. Satan is Satan. They are two different things. Just like God is God and Eledumare is Eledumare. God chose the Israelis to be a chosen nation. The Olodu Tomare have no discrimination. We are all the sub-element of this set. No discrimination. The Eledumare do not threaten anybody with hell or heaven. Olodumare do not tell you to evangelize the concept of Eledumare to another person. If they don't accept, kill them. It is God that does that. The healing ability and knowledge that our ancestors have is not limited to be used to cure or treat us, which are African. It is for all mankind. It is your Olodumare, whom they say came in form of one Jesus, that said, how can I give the children's bread or children's meat to a dog? It calls a human being dog. Calls a human being dog. Then you say there are good Christians. Nobody can practice Christianity and be good. I tell you for free today. You cannot be a Muslim and be good. You can't be a good person practicing Christianity or Islam. Because the concept of your scripture is plainly evil. So it's either you are rebranding your own evil or you are plainly evil. You can't be a good Christian. You can't follow that Jesus that you see in that Bible and be good. Wèrè ló yàgbẹ̀yìn. Then you follow a person that say go to the river and pick a fish and bring money out of the fish's mouth, and you think you will not forcefully take somebody's property or wish for something that is not. You can't follow that Jesus who said they should go to a house and unchain a particular donkey when the owner has say the Lord have a need of it. You use Ogboju, use strong guy and call it faith, stealing people's land, messing people's life up, taking offering and tithe from them, and you say you follow in the footsteps. You can't follow Jesus and be a good person. Do you not get me? This battle is not against Christians. It's against the fact that nobody become a Christian and be good. Do you know the mentality with these people? So a pastor will write 3 private jets and pray for COVID not to go. And you think he's starting it because he's wicked. No, that is what Jesus does. You can't be a Christian and be a good person. You can't. This so-called Jesus you said you follow said that he has been sent only to the lordship of Israel. He wasn't sent to you. You are an African. You these black ass dudes. He wasn't sent to you. The concept of your God and Godship has nothing to do with you. You are not part of your plan. Your ancestors your ancestors are not Adam and Eve. No, you know your father, you know your grandfather, you know your ancestors. And they were so bold to tell you that the only people they could trace to is the Israelis. Are you an Israeli? So tomorrow you say you are spiritual, it's not check with any. Can't you just be a son for once and be proud of yourself instead of this orphanage mentality? You can't be a Christian and be a good person because there is provision for evil there. When they want to do evil, they say grace. When they want to do good, they still say it's the Lord's doing. Marvelous in their sight. They do marvelous, negatively marvelous things. Steal from people, grab their land. The concept is still there. All the letter that was written, none of it was written to any church or anybody in Africa. Even those letters were written to the Romans, the Philippines, the Colos, the whatever, the Ephesus, they don't use the letter anymore. Anyway, hijack the letter on letter. Somebody now want to talk to me, an African, and say according to the book of Romans. Ṣé mo jọ Romans ló jẹ́ mo máa kọ́là? Ṣé nǹkan tí mo èdè tí mò ń sọ yìí ó jọ èdè Romans? Ṣé orí ẹ̀ ṣáà pé ó ṣáà rí? Do I look like a Colossian to you? Do I look like an Ephesian to you? So when they are writing their letter between themselves, why are you using it to control my life or talk to me? You want to talk to me with intelligence. Talk to me with what I can see. Reality of life. Why are you trying to tickle me? Why are you trying to upset me? Romance you know where romance are. But according to Quran chapter Surah to Yasin, do I look like members of the Sabi of Anobi? Why are you stressing my life? Why? Have you Africans tried to stress my life? You are not talking to me according to Eseifa from Orunmila to me. You take your time. So there's no way you can practice those things and say. So they will do everything to ensure that they blackmail the reality of life here, while they sell to you the make-believe there. They sell to you the make-believe there. It is not left for you to think. Think very well on what you want to do. Either you will keep bastardizing, blackmailing, demonizing this issue, or you come to reality that you cannot get justice There's no equity for you without that. And how can you get equity if you don't practice what you are looking for? Give the peace you want. Give the love you expect. Create the heaven you want to go to. Otherwise, it will be hell, hell, hell all the way. It's time to ask your questions. Begin to type your questions now. This is time for questions. Let's make it interactive. And we start rounding off from there. Thank you very much for joining today. All right. We take the first one. Somebody said, are we already lost? People just don't think. Well, it depends. At least some of us, majority of us are lost. Majority of us are lost. For the few of us that remain, what are we even doing consciously to make sure that the rest don't get lost? We who are remaining, what are we doing consciously? We got this truth and this freedom. We keep it to ourselves because we are ashamed. Let them not call me Onisheshe now. Let them not say I've gone back to African spirituality, because you are still ashamed of the truth. Those who are ashamed of the truth are not better than those who are embracing lies. How proactive are you in sharing this truth and telling people about it? It is very easy for you and a thing of pride when you were in Christianity to evangelize Jesus. You will go out every Saturday. You will spread flyers. You will call people to prayer in mosque. How many people are you telling about this way of life? What are we doing proactively? Are there other platforms who are taking time to explain this thing in total for people to come to reality? And those who watch, who manage to watch this, how are they making sure that they spread the news to others? How are they making sure? A lot of you follows me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, not actively. You only follow me by checking up on my post, so that they will not know that you follow Baba Yoba. You will not press the follow button, but you will come to my inbox and be saying, are you with me? Hypocrisy, hypocrisy everywhere. Frankly saying, how can one keep a clean slate in African spirituality in order to call on issue? Restitution, like I said earlier, restitution. As far as your memory can take you, as much as you can remember, do restitution. If you are taking something from someone, if you are hurt people's feelings, if you are lied against someone, do restitution. And then we start from there. The moment you do restitution, we do baptism for you, and before you know it. And try at your best as much as possible. What you don't want to eat, don't cook it. Don't smell it. What you will not allow others to do to you, don't do it to others. How do we know Eshu is female? Was Eshu an ancestor? Yes, an ancestor, yeah. Just like Shango, Ogun, and the rest. Eshu was an ancestor. However, don't forget that those ancestors are the ones who discovered that way of life, those energy, and how to equate it. Using the methodic way of African spirituality to administer justice, equity to people. So when they died, we named them after that particular discovery. Somebody saying, does the energy a person built up in this life impact or contribute to their next life in the incarnation? If you are talking about doing what is evil and coming to pay for it, yes. How can one speak to a business partner going to church is a waste of time? Use wisdom, please. Use wisdom. So many of them are like a mad dog. You don't want to fight the way they fight or do what they do. I can only speak my truth on the internet. I will never board a plane with you, be in a car with you, be in a public place with you, private place with you, and talk to you about your belief. I don't bother myself. You need to watch my way of life. If my way of life interests you, make inquiry, and I will give you prerequisite to get to where I am. I only speak my truth. I don't try to win souls, and I don't try to do evangelism. Of all the things, the ancestors don't need you to evangelize them. You just need to live so much to the point where people see your life and they run to you, so you can now offer them. But to know my issue, do I have to be initiated to know my life Odu? No, you don't have to be initiated. We are talking about Shishe Ifa. If Ifa wants you to be part of that sacred order, it will be through divination. You just don't go and say, I want to have Ifa or something. Is Eshu an Erumole or Orisha? What is the difference between Erumole and Orisha? You and I are Orisha. When we exit this plane, depending on what we did, if it is monumental enough to be recognized, then we become Irumole. Irumole or Alale, that's the same word for ancestors. So you must first of all live a life of Orisha before you can translate into the class of Irumole. Is it true that the day for working with Eshu is on Mondays? Monday is Ojo Aje. Olokun is the owner of Monday. Aje Owuniso, Oniso Boji. Monday is Ojo Aje, not the Eshu. There are different energies that we try to activate, and we wait till Wednesday, which is Ojoru. That's Ojo Eboriru. When it comes to us, which is the Orisha, we use Ojo Thursday, which is Thursday, Ojobo, Ojo Eboriru, Ojo Ribibo, Ojobo, Ojo Ribibo. Ojoru, we can venerate Ogun, Shango, Oya, Oba, all the Romoles on Wednesday. But we are the owner, you and I. Special recognition for you as Orisha. So Thursday. So Aje is Monday. I want to ask about money prayer you talked about not too long ago, about holding your head and talking to the ground and Ashe. How often do we have to say this prayer? Every day of your life. Every day of your life. Every day of your life. Every single day of your life. Who is an Orisha? You are Orisha. You are Orisha. I am Orisha. You are Orisha. That's why they call us Olorisha, because we are all Orisha. Hmm? You are Orisha. Baba Yoba, can we worship Eshu in our personal life, and how can we get the stone to represent Eshu? Getting the stone requires the 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 service of expertise in this way of life to pick the stone. However, you do not worship. You don't worship. Don't say worship like the Christians and Muslims do. I have never taught you to worship any ancestor. I have only taught you to either venerate or give them credit, give them honor. What I always taught you is how they lived and how you can even do better than they did. Don't misquote me. Don't let us leave frying pan and enter fire. We are not idol worshippers. We are not idol worshippers. You can venerate that energy. See, the energy is not the person. The person is who first discovered the energy. Get me right. We only name the energy after the person who first discovered it for the sake of reference. So it is not the person who discovered it that we worship. We can pay homage to them for discovering, but it is the way they discover the energy that we also venerate, we also activate rather. So there are systematic way of doing these things. So you don't turn back to become what you are running away from. Please, what book did you read that helped change your mentality? The Universe. I read The Universe. I read The Universe. I was not interested in people as a young person. I was not interested in human relationship. Up till now, I'm not very good with one-on-one conversation if I'm with you. I don't care if you travel 7 seas, 7 stars to come and see me. If you're not talking, I'm not talking. If you don't ask questions, I'm not giving answers. No matter how close you are to me, I'm not very good with one-on-one conversation. I've never been interested in human. Trees, plants, ants, birds, the cosmic forces of nature, the air, the earth, the water, the sun, fire, all those things you call non-living things, they have been my friends. I love to study them. And they communicate with me. I hear them clearly. That's been my fantasy. As a matter of fact, my best station on any cable TV is the Nat Geo World. Human beings are they are not deep. They are so volatile. Human beings are volatile, not deep, fragile. They are like the grass of the field. Here today, not there tomorrow. They stress you out. So I wasn't focused on human being or activity. I was focused on the universe and nature. And it took 13 years language because I always just look. I just look. I just look. I just look at water. I don't understand water. They say there's a God. I want to know who created the God. So I can't recommend a book to you. The greatest book is the universe. The universe is the university of life. Travel more, isolate yourself more, move far away from the city. This is chaos, not civilization. Go and learn about life from the things you have always looked down upon. They will teach you a lot. They will teach you a lot. All right. All right, this person is saying unrelated question. Is there a difference between Sisu and Wiwu Ire? No, there's no difference between them. Sisure, Wiwure, Sisu, Wiwu, it depends on the tongue. Then the Adura. Adura is prayer. Adura is when you put yourself in the position of an orphan to begin to request, ask. You are at the mercy of someone. The religious people do that. We decree. We decree to nature. We decree what we want. We are not taking permission from anybody. See, stop living a life of a second-class citizen in this world. Decree what do you want. Why are you focused on what will not happen? Why don't you put your energy on what you want? Just focus. What do you want? You want greatness? Just be greatness. You want healing? Speak healing. Don't ask for healing. Speak the healing. Stop asking for. Start speaking it into existence. Act on behalf of the universe. Don't take permission from anybody or anyone. And that's why we don't pray in the name of anybody. We just pray because we just decree because we decree. That's who we are. Also, how do I get my parents to stop saying Christian prayer on my behalf and start speaking good things to my life instead? That's very difficult. You can't stop them. You can't stop them. Even my own mother, whenever she calls me, she still speak those Christian prayer. I only say Ashe. I don't want wahala. It's too much trouble to be correcting your parents are now dry fish. If you try to bend them, they will crumble. They have chosen their path. Choose your path. Be a better parent to your own children. Even my mother till today will still pray. Once in a while she say, "Mo fi Jesu ṣọ́ ẹ." It has become an addiction to them. Most of these things. Even though they practice this way of life, that way of life has become an addiction. Something they did not for 2 years or 30, 40, 50, some of them 60 years. That's all they knew. So don't drag them too much. They are not getting it, just allow them. Just allow them. Baba Yoba, thank you for your time as always. Looking forward to the course you are putting together so we don't have to keep asking the same question. All right, thank you very much. Can I still call issue to fight for me when someone who is owing me for almost 2 years and refuse to pay me? Well, see, there are logic to these things. How can you be borrowing people money? Huh? Do you know where they borrow people money? It's the bank. Whoever is running away from bank, they are not financially worthy. So you can avoid story that touches the heart. Whoever where do they borrow people money? There are common sense to this thing, please. What institution in this world, this present world, borrow people money? Bank, right? Whoever is running away from going to a bank to go and collect money, surely do not have collateral. And also, it's not financially worthy. Why are you borrowing people money? The money you can't give people, don't borrow them. So many friendship has gone down the drain. So many people has lost their life just because borrow me this money, I will turn back. And you refuse because of you are shy. You refuse to take collateral. If they will not go to bank because of the process and all that, take their car as collateral. Let them give you one document that is legal as collateral. Take them to your lawyer as collateral. Business is business. Family is family. Friendship is friendship. So to now be wasting the energy of issue on things that you should have used common sense to do and put the normal protocol in place is a waste of energy. I'm sorry. For me, I don't borrow people money, no matter how close you are to me. Even if you're my wife, I don't borrow you my money. I give you what I have. You are looking for 1 million naira. If I have 50,000 at hand, I know if I give you, you won't. I give you 50,000, I tell you, I don't want our friendship to spoil. I will not borrow you my money. It's not wise. It's not penny wise to borrow people money without collateral, especially. Let them sign paper. Give yourself some peace of mind. Be financially wise. Be financially wise. That's been my source of happiness. I will not borrow money from you. That's the thing. I will not come to you to borrow money. Why are you coming to borrow money from me? And if you come to me to borrow money from me because you don't have, I will give you what I have that I know I don't need back. I can give you all the money you are looking for. I can give you some of them. I can give you little part of them. That's my money. But I'm not coming to you to borrow money. So that's my own question to that. Somebody is saying, so some of the fundamental aspects of growth spiritually in this way of life is to honestly help others, be truthful, stop promiscuous lifestyle, and respect nature. Thank you, Roland. You got it right. That's a summary. That's a summary. Can I still call issue when someone I work for is owing me almost 2 years and refuse to pay? I think you are the one who asked if you borrow somebody money. This one is legal. Yeah, you can. You can. You can. But then again, let's ask you, what were you looking for? First month, second month, third month, and you didn't bother? Did you not sign paper? Can you not take the person to court? If you have exhausted those means, then Baba, This might be digressing a bit, but what is the influence of Efun in Yoruba culture? Efun. You know, Efun is a white powder. That white powder that, is it Efun or Efun? Efun, is it the powder or the spell? Efun is the powder. Efun is the spell. You have to clarify that before I can answer that. Clarify that before I can answer that. How do we count the days in African spirituality? Well, depending on your culture and your people. Well, here is it. Yoruba way of practicing African spirituality is quite common and dominant in Africa, but does not speak for all Africans. Does not speak for all Africans. So we start counting the day on Sunday, the sunny day. Sunday is Ọjọ́ Àìkú, the day of life, day of redemption, day of rejuvenation. Monday is Ọjọ́ Ajé, day of wealth, day of wealth. Tuesday is Ọjọ́ Ìṣẹ́gun, day of victory, day of victory. Wednesday is Ọjọ́rú, Ọjọ́ Ẹbọ Rírú, the day we make sacrifices. We make sacrifices. Thursday is Ọjọ́ Orí Bíbọ, the day we appease our own Ori. We as Orisha appease our Ori. Friday is Ọjọ́bọ̀, Ọjọ́ Ẹtì, which is Ọjọ́ Ìfẹ̀yìntì, the day we start resting, the day we begin to rest. Saturday is Àbámẹ́ta, is the family day, father, mother, and children, the family day, where we come together as family. Even Babalawo need to take a break on that day. So for Yoruba part, that's the way they count it. Baba Yoruba, follow up that question that you are explaining now. Will issue fight for me when I gave someone money to buy goods for me and refused to supply? Yes, 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 yes. I look forward to hearing from you on my WhatsApp. Let's try and make a specimen of such person. You take money from people and refuse to supply their goods. Let's ẹjẹ́ afẹ́ni ń dán agbára wò. Ẹjẹ́ àfi dán agbára wò. Tó bá ní Jésù kó lọ pè, tó bá ní Mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ kó pè, ẹjẹ́ àfi irúfẹ́ ni, ẹjẹ́ àfi bẹ̀rẹ̀ specimen, ẹjẹ́ àfi dán agbára wò. Fortunately for Eshu, Corona did not allow them to throw this year's stone at him. They actually building Eshu. To them, they thought they are stoning Eshu. But to the people who started that, they are building it. They are giving praise to it. They are supplying the necessary tool to build it. So you are working for Eshu. When you leave Nigeria, go to Mecca, go and work for Eshu. When you have to work for Eshu in white people's land, it will benefit you. Somebody say, I thought there are 4 days in Yoruba culture. No, 4 days. Àìkú, Ajé, Ìṣẹ́gun, Ọjọ́rú, Ọjọ́bọ̀, Ẹtì, Àbámẹ́ta, 7 days. Baba, is there a way someone can totally prevent negative thoughts from the mind, especially when someone offends you? There is no way. You just have to wave it off. The only way you can prevent negative thoughts from your mind is we take half of your brain out. We'll take out half of your brain so you can sit there like a vegetable. Someone can slap you, they will not think. Someone can hurt you, they can even sleep with your wife in front of you, you will not budge. They can steal your money, you will not budge. They can set you ablaze, you will not budge. Let's take half of your brain away. As long as you have your brain intact, you will have negative thought, you have positive thought. And that's what makes you God. Ability for you now to choose between negativity and positivity is what makes you Orisha. What's the relationship between 16 cowries divination by Oshun and divination by Babalawo Orunmila it is usually said that only Babalawo do divination. Yeah, really. Only Babalawo do divination using Okpele. But that does not mean that only Babalawo can understand the voice of the universe. There are ways of divination. There are different ways of divination. Some people use 16 cowries. Some people use Okpele. Some people use sand, ordinary sand. Some people use water. Some people don't only just need darkness. I'm fortunate to know all of these ways. So sometimes when I'm traveling, you will not catch me with my Okpele, Ikinfa, and the rest. I just need water. It's easy to, I can get the water from where you are or wherever we meet and do what I need to do. Some divination required for you to wake up in the middle of the night and stay in thick darkness. There are divination systems. So the Oshun people can also listen to universe using the water, nature, and the rest. Abayoba, I didn't hear your explanation on the question asked. Which question? You want me to explain? You said somebody is holding your money back, not providing the goods that you asked them to provide. I said, come to my inbox. Let's use the person as specimen so that we can tell if you can work or not. Can they should fight for me? Yes, it can. If you are sure it's the wrong accusation, yes. We just need to do veneration, and then you go to court and get your verdict. Please allow me this question. If I am convinced I have been unfairly treated by my Ori in my life so far, considering my present situation or status a relative to my effort, can I sue at Eshu's court? Your Ori, o fẹ́ sue Ori ẹ nílé ẹjọ́ Èṣù. You want to sue your own head in the court of your own Ori on court of Eshu. Sorry o, n tó gbé wáyé ló yàn yẹn o. Bó ṣe wáyé náà ló ṣe yàn, bó ṣe ráǹfà rẹ o. Mo bẹ̀rù irú ẹ̀yin báyìí, ẹ fẹ́ gbé orí yín lọ sí kóòtù Èṣù. Má lọ da orí ẹ̀rú. Mi gbọ́ rí. You want to sue your own Ori. Do you know your own Ori? You can only appease your Ori. You can't fight with your Ori. Bá a ṣe wáyé páàrí láàrin o. Please chat me on my inbox so that we can settle the matter. You must really be going through a lot. We'll find a way around it. Baba, do Owori Ogbe. Retaliated against Ogbe. If Owori didn't retaliate, how would he have gotten justice? All right. So I think that one is a buttressing of into question. All right. So one more question and we wrap it up. What is a little digression, people? A little digression. Baba, please, what does palm oil represent in African spirituality? It represents a lot like lubrication, like peace and atonement. Lubrication, peace. If you want a smooth life, represent it. This is the last question, and we wrap it up. How can one practice African spirituality when you are married to die-hard Christian? Most of our family members are pastors, and even all my family are Christians without causing a rift in my house. It will cause a rift because they see you as a threat and as darkness. There's no way you can. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Most of the people I knew before don't like me anymore. They don't do business with me anymore because of this. But it is what it is. You have to choose between the comfort of living amongst the fools or staying alone being wise. It is what it is. However, I will never allow you or tell you to divorce your wife because of your belief system. Just allow them to do what they have to do. Just don't force yourself on them. Refuse them to force themselves on you, but do not force yourself on them. Let everybody do their thing. But remember that love conquers all. The love between you should be above every form of disposition you have, disparity you have around. disparity you have around it. What is the representation of Eshu? Some use monkey. Is this correct? There is no correlation between monkey and Eshu. Just a stone. Okuta ela. Okuta. Okuta edigbolu, rather. Okuta edigbolu. Ako okuta edigbolu. Okuta. A stone or rock. There's no correlation between Eshu and monkey. Some book says that Eshu was before Olodumare in the dark matter of the universe, before light came upon. Can you elaborate more on this, please? Don't take us back to Christianity, theology, and all. You get? Eshu doesn't have a color. Please. The color of Olodumare is not light. The color of Eshu is not black. This has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with color. If there's anyone who is a human amongst the two, it is the Eshu. Olodumare is not human. And it's not the sky god. The concept of God and Satan fighting war in heaven did not arise in African spirituality. It is a total beverage. So many books out there to confuse you. All right, this request is for another broadcast. Baba, please explain the money prayer again. Please, I missed it. Did we speak about money prayer today? I don't think we spoke about money prayer today. Go to the YouTube channel and search for effective money routine in African spirituality. I did almost an hour on money prayer. Top. Adúpẹ́ fálára, adúpẹ́ fájèrò, adúpẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀gún ilé ìlá, adúpẹ́ omi tí ń pòǹgbẹ, adúpẹ́ iná tá a fi ríran tá a sì fi ń so oúnjẹ, adúpẹ́ atẹ́gùn tá a fi mí, adúpẹ́ ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ afọkọ́yọrí alápèrè tá a tẹ̀ lọ tá a tẹ̀ bọ̀. Adúpẹ́ pẹ̀kun, a sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn oníbàárà wa àtàwọn tí wọ́n ń wò wá nílé lóko lọ́nà lẹ́yìn odi. May your life not end up like that of a dog who backed all of its life. May your speed not become like that of a tortoise. May your horns not be like that of a snail. May you flourish beyond your own imagination. May the breadth and length of the universe overshadow you with wisdom needed for living. May you never regret choosing this pathway of life. May you fight your battle and bring justice to all your false accusation and allegation. You will not regret at the end of your life. Àṣẹ. Ó dìgbà kan náà o. A ó mọ̀ tó rà. Bye bye o.